Doing a Sheaffer vac fill repair. The key to this is proper disassembly of the pen. Obviously, the first thing you do is remove the cap. Set that aside. It's not part of the repair. Then you remove the butt end. Very crucial. In order to properly disassemble the front end of any Sheaffer vac fill, it is necessary, I have found it necessary, to soak these pens for at least a week before endeavoring to try and repair these. Why? Because the glue that Sheaffer used is like a beeswax thing, and over time it has hardened, and if you try and unscrew this without soaking the front end of the pen in water for at least a week, you will crack the barrel. If you crack the barrel, you're back to square one with this pen. This pen is a pneumatic filler. You must have a perfect seal. So once you've gotten it loose, and you can unscrew this easily. Now, I've previously removed the section on this to make this easy so that this repair video can be under an hour. I will say this: when it comes to pen repair, always set aside plenty of time to do it. Never rush a pen repair. You will break a pen if you move quickly. On the butt end of the pen, you remove the brass ring, unit on the back. Now, in some Sheaffers, this is permanently attached to the blind cap. It's not a difficult thing to remove. However, you will need, in some instances, a small tool to remove an aluminum collar. You can also cheat sometimes by pulling this taut, heating the back end lightly, and twisting counterclockwise. But that's a subject for a different video. It doesn't pertain to this pen. Next thing you do is you knock out the rod. This rod is not optimal because it is an iron rod covered with black hard rubber. If you have a replacement aluminum rod or stainless steel rod of the appropriate length, it is optimal to replace these. However, this is correct for the pen because this is a Depression era pen. Next thing you do is you drop out the filling mechanism like so. Just essentially push it out the front. If you have to, take a toothpick, which is the right diameter for the back of this hole, and push the rod out. Now, we've previously drilled out the packing unit. The way you do that is you take your standard 1/4-inch drill bit, drop it down into the pen itself, and by hand you twist, and eventually you'll drill through the back plastic on the front end of that, which is then covered by waxy felt, essentially, which provides the necessary pneumatic seal for this pen. This has previously been drilled. When you get done with that, you blow out the fuzz, essentially. Rinse it, get all the get all the stuff out, okay? Then you take your black rubber or nylon washer that you got from David Nishimura. Use silicone grease. Generously coat this, okay? Just generally make a mess of both sides of it. Stick it on the back end of your 1/4-inch drill bit, which you use to drill out the packing unit. Drop the pen on top of it, okay? All the way to the back. Flip it over. That seats the washer, okay? That is now in the barrel in its correct position. Set the pen upright so that the washer doesn't come out of position. Then you take the back end, clear off your silicone grease. Then you'll take your white washer, which is crucial to this repair, and stick it or leave it on the back of the 1/4-inch drill bit. Then you'll take your Model Master liquid cement or any other plastic liquid cement for models will do, so long as it contains MEK. Then you lightly coat the outside of this white ring, and it'll start to fuzz up. That's how you know it's working right, okay? And then when you've got that covered, you come back to your pen and you gently put it back together. And then you hold that tight for a few seconds, and then you pull your drill bit out and leave this upright to dry. In about 30 minutes, it'll be ready to then reinstall the plunger washer. You utilize that time actually to put the plunger washer back together so that you can repair this fairly quickly. It's necessary to unscrew the front of this nut. This is the key to the Sheaffer system. You must unscrew this. You can heat this with a dryer and it will come loose. You unscrew it. You take your replacement gasket is what you and then you essentially walk it onto the plunger rod. Screw back on your nut, and you cover the back of the washer, which is crucial, with silicone grease because you want it to go down the barrel quickly and you don't want to lose seal along the way, okay? And then when that's done, you'll set that aside, and as soon as this dries, then you will drop this down the hole itself. Now, as far as getting it in position is concerned, it's always important to check to make sure that that white washer is seated. I'm glad this happened. It didn't actually seat properly. It looks like it's going to hold. Okay. Then you drop this down the barrel. You can literally drop it. Find the hole.
Line it up.
Yeah, line it up right. And actually, if you can stop the camera, I'll pick.
All right. Poor fern. We're getting the jitters from the bad jokes.
Okay. Once you have reinstalled said plunger into said pen, then it is incumbent to reinstall the brass ring in the back. It literally is the brass ring at this point, provided that this is all stuck together and you're not back to square one. Use your fingernail to just finger tighten that. The importance of this is that this is what you grip to actually fill the pen. Screw this back together. Now, if you notice, there's a back part of the feed here that comes off at an angle. It's essentially a way around George Parker's lucky curve, but it also provides a piece of hard rubber that the conical front of this filling mechanism knocks up against to release the vacuum suddenly, allowing this to fill as optimally as possible. It is important to keep that in place in order for the pen to function properly. If you break that part of the feed off, all is not lost. It will still work, it just won't fill as much. Okay?
That's also known as the little dinky, right?
The little dinky drives you nuts. Then you screw it back together. And that is a Sheaffer vac fill repair.
AKA wasp.
And when you're done, the pen should fill anywhere from 50 to 75%. Anywhere in that range is perfect as far as these pens. Even when they were new, they didn't fill 100%.
Really?
If you go there and you plunge and you plunge and you plunge and you
worse.
plunge and you try to get to 100%, not gonna happen.
How many times you plunge? Once?
I usually, it was advertised as a one-stroke filler. I cheat, I do twice.
Okay.
And essentially the way you fill it is put it in your bottle of ink, boop, push down, and then you'll get a nice satisfying as it fills,
Okay.
if it's installed properly. Okay, let's see if it works.
And this glue sets fast, right?
No.
No. Okay, well, we'll make believe.
There we go. And that is still filling.
Wow. All right. Oh, more bubbles. Still had air in it.
And you can see it coming up. See, it's
Yeah, I know.
it's actively filling. This is really cool. Look, there's that much vacuum that it's still filling as I'm just holding it. That's a mistake a lot of people do. They do the one stroke and then they pull the pen out immediately. You should count to 10. Look at that. It's still filling after what? I'm still yammering and it's filling. That's exactly what you want.
Ah.
And then second stroke, same as the first.
Good compression.
Very good compression. It was fighting me there at the end. Let's see where we are.
It's like watching a thermometer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like watching paint dry.
It is like watching paint
No.
or ink fill. That's 50 to 75% full. That'll write for at least 3 weeks. And truthfully, the fun of vintage pens is filling them. So you're not really out anything if you have to fill your pen every 2 weeks. Put your blind end in, wipe off the front, and you are done.
Put your blind end in.